And we are back after a short break. I think we can just do this last mission and we'll be done here. Convoy ambush. Pretty much the highest risk missions in my opinion. Kind of like, just for the reasons that I brought up the last time we did a convoy ambush. Large laser and 3 LRM5s. That's probably pretty good. Does this thing still have jump jets on it? It does. It's heat efficient. It's got 2 racks of LRM ammo. I built a pretty decent mech there for this, for ambushing convoys at least. We could also stick Behemoth in this other Shadowhawk, which would be very funny for this kind of mission. Just dump on all the vehicles and let our fire support stuff kill mechs in the meantime. It's tempting. It is tempting. Sorry, I am seriously considering doing that. I'm still thinking about it a little bit. Let's do it. If it turns out that we don't have enough damage, y'all can laugh at me. Pretty sure at this point, anyone who's still watching is begging for an opportunity to just let it loose. Because our streak is pretty decent so far. We've had pretty solid missions with pretty reliable success. But I've also been picking my battles. I haven't really gone for anything beyond the capabilities of my company or anything even close to that. Mostly because we still have very few pilots because I'm being so picky about pilots. Which is ironic because you have in MechWarrior 5 you have to be picky about your pilots because you only need a few of them and they need to be as good as possible. Where in this one you can pick pretty much anyone and they can be as good as possible. Still being picky. Okay. So we're gonna push the Shadowhawks up. With pretty solid lands. This should go well. It's an ambush convoy though, so who knows. It's what always happens is you hit the scout lance or the vanguard and then you find out that their convoy is all LRM carriers and it's just they're just like laughing at you the entire time. Well, they are still way down there yet. Okay. I'll also commit to a jump up here, mostly because it actually slows these front guys down. We're gonna need to give our back guys an opportunity to catch up. Much easier to keep your lance together in MechWarrior 5 because you can literally command the lance to move at the same speed. But in this game, you pretty much have to, you yourself have to determine how far each unit is going to move. And so you basically have to determine how you're going to keep your lance together, and you have to do it with all the forethought and strategy that this game demands. Stuff to consider. We're just going to reserve. They haven't scouted us out yet, so they can move and waste their turn. 55 tonner, 65 tonner. Griffin scouted us. Okay. Light vehicle. Okay, we're just going to start jumping in there and really causing some havoc. Can't see the Scorpion because there's a javelin in the way. Okay. Shoot at the Griffin then. Let's just hit reserve one more time since that's a Thunderbolt. I can't remember where we are with our Thunderbolt salvage. We've fought a Thunderbolt before, but I honestly can't remember where we are with that. Okay, here's our other Shadowhawk. $60-ton vehicle. Must be... I don't know why it didn't shoot in here when it's got line of sight. And that's a 70-ton vehicle. That's that weird... This is a newer vehicle that got added to the game later. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like some kind of urban fighting vehicle. If it's what I think it is. But I'm pretty sure it's the only 70-tonner in the game. Alright, here we go. Hopefully Decker can perform the coup de grace. Again, in MechWarrior 5, missiles are great for destroying vehicles. In this one, they're really not great. Yeah, see, we don't even have exposure on that vehicle just because missiles hit like every different part of the vehicle and can't focus fire. Yeah, this urban assault vehicle. I think it's got an autocannon 10 on it. We still have decent evasion. I'm tempted just to reserve for one turn. Okay. Got a dead zone on this mech. It's probably because of the pilot more than the mech, just to be fair to the mech design. Behemoth is not the pilot that typically runs these mechs. Here we go. Finally. Scorpion. Speaking of the Scorpion, can we step on it? No. We must be up on, yeah, we were up on like a hillock. And that's an SRM carrier. Okay, so that's the thing that we needed to know about. is what exactly that thing was. I feel like I'm gonna be generating too much heat with glitch if I keep popping her around like that. That was a shot on the side. That's what we want. Yeah, there we go. Forced the Griffin to move because we're too close to it for the Griffin to make a shot on the other Shadowhawk. And then where's Teehashee still? The plan is to jump in a way that gives us a decent shot and puts us in walking distance of the other vehicle. We'll see if that plan comes together, but we do have the decent shot, and taking this SRM carrier down is very important. Pretty much death to any mechs if it gets to shoot at someone. Okay, here's our Kentaro. We've got a Scorpion, and the Gallant also hasn't moved yet. That's a pretty solid shot. That might even be a kill shot with any kind of luck. I could even precision strike. I probably should be. We'll do it. It's an alpha strike. Nice. It was worth it. Perfect. Because I think that means we can safely ignore the Gallant. And we'll go ahead and punish a mech instead. Like this poor fool that's standing still. Dirty. Them shooting at Teehashee is what we want because we want Behemoth to be able to make this run on the Gallant. Here's the Griffin being fancy again. Hitting their shot this time, actually getting damage out of the Griffin does count. We pay attention to that. Two pilot injuries on that Thunderbolt, something to consider. We don't really care because it's going to be a priority just to get stuff killed, but bam. It's taking a shot. I don't know how much stability they lost. 2 bars. It's not even that much. Especially since they can't really outmaneuver us. See what I mean? This could very well be a kill shot. wasn't actually. Seems like it must be about time to move this griffin. I can't believe that that's a decent shot. We're actually gonna wait. So I think Behemoth can actually bring the knockdown here. I don't really know why I'm wasting time with this, because I'm sure that thing is going to get cored out before we kill the pilot. Or we'll just kill a pilot just like that. Now, what I'd like to do, since I hate it, is focus down that javelin. But apparently the griffin is standing stock still. So we'll do that instead. Javelin continuing to make their hero plays. Is this a Javelin Alpha? No. It's an N. But it's acting like it's got two SRMs on it. So, a little confusing. Tempting. We've got a damaged leg already. It's not the most damaged, but our DFA shenanigans will have to wait. Hero plays, stand still and shoot. Oh, my small laser was turned off. Not that it makes that huge a difference, but when stuff like that happens, it always surprises me. I'm always like, I was expecting a sort of whom noise. And yeah, completely disarmed them with that death from above, which is what we were hoping for. Again, this this sort of like cheesing the knockdowns business is kind of pointless because we're going to be dumping all of our salvage into that Thunderbolt. But we're here and we have the opportunity. Here's the Javelin making their plays. Let's just wait until our friend gets a chance to stand back up. They have no chance or no opportunity except to opportunity. Sorry, words. No option but to commit to a physical attack. There we go. Gave us the boot. And now we are unstable as well. We are going to be traveling after this, so if our pilot gets injured, it's not that huge a deal. I'm going to move her last. Mostly because ideally we will avoid the knockdown if we can. Ooh, dead. Whoops-a-daisy. Get out of here. So we're going to move like this. Embrace. Impressive. Very brave. All of your javelin piloting friends will be so impressed and proud. That's a pretty good swing. That's how you headbutt. Duh, ha, ha, ha. Now it's kind of time to get stepped on, I'm afraid. In fact, I don't know what I'm waiting for. Oh, that's a dead pilot. Whoops. Well, we're definitely not going to be short of salvage for this mission. Very solidly done mission. Behemoth carrying the party. We have our first heavy mech in a Thunderbolt SE. Plus stability damage AC 10. Very tempting. Plus crit, not that impressive. And we can finish the Javelin. This pretty much guarantees us 2 mechs, so we're going with that. Nice. Definitely, especially on that LRM-10. Cannot complain about that. Should be putting that LRM-10 on the Kentaro. Plus stability damage, great thing to have on LRMs. Even better than damage, arguably, because they can actually make you money as well as defeat enemies. Or damage, just make stuff dead. This SE has jump jets, apparently. Okay, we'll do our housekeeping. We'll do the Thunderbolt first. Thunderbolt is a pretty decent intro to heavy mech. Better than the 60 tonners. Both of the 60 tonners in the Dragon and Quick Draw are pretty niche. They do their jobs well, but they have like one job where it's like you look at this thing, it's got a large laser, it's got an LRM-10, and it's got medium lasers. And that's all perfectly all right. I think its melee damage profile is pretty solid. Yeah, total damage 80. I believe that's the same as what our Shadowhawks are doing. We'll just take a quick look. It might be more. 85. Okay, so there you go. It's slightly higher on the Shadowhawk still. The advantage that the Shadowhawk has is higher movement speed. Because the Thunderbolt still only maxes out at that 64 kph. It maxes out at 4 jump jets, and it's carrying all 4. Its heat efficiency is high. The only thing... Well, I say it's the only thing, but it's not, because we're going to turn this into a brawler. You'll see what I mean here in a second. Because these bad boys get crazy with their hard points. Absolutely bonkers. Max armor. Let me organize these jump jets a little bit better. SRM2s, that should only be 2 tons, yep. It's either that or an LRM5, which is tempting. I mean, we've got the room for it, so we'll probably throw that on instead, just to give us the range that we need. LRM15, that's a big boy. There's a little bit of a range option. We could spring for the LRM-10. Stability damage we're gonna save for a different mech. So there we are. As you can see, we've got this pretty solid big boost to our firepower. But our heat sinking is suffering. What I will probably do, since being able to jump is going to be so important to this mech, we will shed this LRM-10 and put the LRM-5 on it instead for heat sinks. That all looks pretty dang good. At any given time, you won't be able to push all the damage out of this mech, but on those times where, like, it is hot, it can melee attack, and its melee attacks will hit very hard. If it gets in the sweet spot for all of its lasers, it's going to shred things. And if something is zoning it out a little bit, it does have that long range damage potential. All in all, going to be a very great addition, replacement to the brawler mechs, which we've been lacking. The only thing we need to do is make the weight pan out. Bring this down to 75 in line with the rest of the mech. And 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1. There we go. Remove a little bit of rear armor. Again, rear armor is important. If this mech goes down, it's going to be because it got shot in the butt. Especially because of what a close quarters fighter it is. But this is a risk that we're going to take with this bad boy. Sorry, just giving it a final look, but I think it's ready. We're going to look at the Vulcan refit. We still don't even know if we'll be using it. For medium lasers, CQ, let's take a close quarters combat suite provides the Vulcan with close range bonus to its support weaponry. Increased support range and melee hit. Substantial defense against reprisal melee attacks probably means the mech is better at avoiding swings if somebody decides to take a swing at it. That's all pretty cool. It's got 6 jump jets on it, which is a lot. We're going to move them. Its armoring is abysmal. And I think its melee is also pretty poor. Total of 50. Probably up to 60 with the combat suite, but that's not doing us very many favors. What we're going to do is we're going to pull the machine gun off of there and the flamer, because no one's got time for flamers. I'm going to do small lasers. And then let's max armor. Still not getting very close to our armor potential. Not at all, honestly. I'm going to start shedding medium lasers, which is just going to tank our firepower. Here we go. Now we're talking a little bit. Now the question is if we even like this thing. We got it CQC suite. Doing its job. We know what we're doing with it. It has very poor long range potential, but it's got a lot of mobility. It's got pretty poor melee potential. What I think we're looking at here is a mech that's slightly out of date for what we're doing with our lance right now. So I think we're going to put it away. Okay. We finished Panzer. Do we have something that's sending us to Weldry? Both of these do. Destroy base or capture base. It's kind of all the same to me. 2.5 skulls. We're You know how I feel about 2.5 school missions. Hmm. Seems like we should be taking this one. We're going to be flying to Weldry, and we're going to be looking for MechWarriors. Okay. 14 days until improved automation. We have been making money, however slowly. Mostly because anytime we are ahead on cash, we're just dumping that right back into the Argo. And anything else we're spending on refits. Let's see. Ooh, very fancy mercenary squad. That's unusual. That's what a neutral thing to say. That's odd that someone might want to hire you, our best MechWarrior. I mean, she's definitely not a MechWarrior that we want to get rid of, so we're going to caution her. This is a decent point. You don't know what you're getting into, but you know what you have right now. Okay, she's gonna stay. That's nice. We're still a small company. If we had more pilots, might be a lot more casual about letting someone like that walk. But we've got great MechWarriors, and Glitch is probably the best. So okay, time to check out engineering, which is always fun. This is a fun part of the game. I understand if some people don't consider it fun, but I like this. I think repair and refit harness makes sense. The rest of the stuff will come, like our next med bay. It's also going to be important. Thunderbolt is done. We did have one other thing to do now that I'm thinking about it. Take out this LRM-10, put the new one on it. I don't think we have anything else that's fancy, not just yet. This mech has been a good mech though. The Kintaro is quite good though. Probably has been time to convert it back into what it's built for, which is a cavalry brawler since we've got enough like snipers and long range mechs, but it's done its job well. The Centurion is still doing all right. I think we can confidently say it's doing okay. Is it better than the Griffin? More heat efficient than the Griffin. A lot, so much less mobile. Less durable as well. Am I looking at the wrong Griffin? I am. Whoops. Herder, sorry. Everyone laugh because of how dumb the commander is. Hard to say. The Centurion does do decent damage. Mobility is pretty much king though. And this has 2 racks of LRM ammo. This one only has the 1. Let's look at a refit for this thing instead of putting it away. $70 melee damage. Eh. If you guys can see my thought process here, I'm trying to give our Centurion a little bit more mobility and address some of its other issues. Thinking about sticking a small laser out here on the arm. A lot smaller risk than an autocannon. It's going to be 6 tons. I mean, you guys have heard me gripe about it enough. I'm just not a fan of the Centurion. It's hard for me to make the Centurion work in my head. Other than what I already did, like AC5 on the arm, large laser LRM10, pretty decent. But now it's in the box because it was just going to turn into this crab, and the thing about this crab is we already have it. And or it was going to turn into this Griffin, which we already have, but it's heavier, better armored, more heat efficient, and jump capable. So I think that's kind of it. I can't think of anything else to do with the company right now. All right. All right, let's look at the hiring hall and see if our MechWarriors are still waiting here. No. The MechWarriors that were here previously are not, which is too bad. Let's look at tracks. Periphery Commoner, Comstar, Acolyte, and Technician, and Jumpship Technician. This guy's got it going on. He's like a Commander style scout replacement, which is not what we need at all. But all of his stuff is really cool. Let's look at Glide for a second. Petty Criminal and Convict. I've used Rook before. I like Rook. Canopian Commoner, Tinker. Kind of a disappointing visit. Let's look at the contracts. Only one aggressive intrusion. Oh, and we have the contract that we're on. Whoops. Being silly here. Being silly. Okay, so we're destroying a base, so we're not taking the Kintaro, especially now that we've got so many great jump-capable options. Where's Behemoth? Behemoth is going to go in this really, really dirt nasty Thunderbolt we got going on. And got our brawlers all sorted out. Now we just need our long-range fire support for what it's worth. Should probably mothball that thing. Building it was a mistake, but that's right. We'll see how we feel about it later. We'll do this. We're probably losing some long range damage potential, but we'll make it up for it in short range. I probably should have checked my MechWarriors for skill upgrades, but we'll do that after Weldry is done and when we're on our way to some other planet looking for pilots, continuing the search for pilots. Real shame we couldn't get those pilots that we wanted earlier because our MRB score was too low. Not really our fault, and we did everything we could to make it happen, but that's how it is sometimes. Heavily armed pirate band. Worst case scenario is it's 2 separate lances plus turrets, and they are LRM turrets. That would be pretty bad. But luckily enough we have a good lance for that, so let's go do our job and not complain. Man, sister, we need to get your piloting up. You move so slow. Or maybe it's just very densely forested there. Because the sprints are pretty terrible, but the hops pop. Okay. Okay. We're gonna let them scout us. They're definitely turrets. 40-ton mech, assassin, or Vulcan. As much as we can. We're gonna burn out their movement options. 55, 55. If they're pristine, which they are, and that's a 2D, we're gonna have a real fight on our hands. Okay. We're gonna hop up here and see if we can get eyes on this other turret. It's a laser turret. If you're wondering why we care, it's because turrets can't dodge attacks, so they're pretty easy to take out as long as you prioritize on them. This is a pretty high threat lance so far, though. Where's Glitch? Glitch is gonna get to do some cool things this mission. You can do the same strategy with other mechs that mount 2 primary guns. Give it to someone who's got multi-target and breaching shot. So we can put you in the Hell Hath No Fury zone, so that's what we're gonna do. That seems like way too much damage for that light laser. Something like that seems like a fair split. Boy, that's a lot of heat. Oof. Firing all the guns. There we go. Probably going to be worth it though. Wham. Especially if next time we just commit to a melee attack. They didn't shoot us with LRM turrets, which is very, very good news, to say the least. We've still got all of our evasion, so let's just reserve and see what they do. Here comes the Vulcan making its play. You could have done that to the Thunderbolt and had much better luck. Just saying. Or you could have done a melee attack. Basically, you did the worst. You're the worst. That's another 2D. Okay. I'm gonna take killing this this Vulcan this turn pretty seriously. was a very hard hit. Sorry, we're fishing for a clear shot on the Vulcan. That's not going through our ally. Doesn't really look like we're gonna get it. That is also a straight shot. Really doesn't seem like it. In that case, I think we'll give it to the commander instead. That looks pretty good, yep. CQC did not save you that time, sir. Okay, we got eyes on that Shadowhawk, and we got a decent shot on him as well. We're kind of engaging these Shadowhawks at their optimal range, even though it might not seem that way. So still a little bit nervous, but we're doing okay. Getting that Vulcan down was huge. Good shooting from Glitch, as always. Glad you didn't go join Carlisle. The Thunderbolt is standing stock still and will most likely get shot at this turn by multiple enemies. So I think what we'll do is we'll jump in the way. Pay attention to me. Shooting at the crab. We love to see it. Because if they leave the Thunderbolt alone, we basically get what we want out of combat, which is to have our Thunderbolt and eat it too, if that makes sense. Basically, you get a very big, fairly slow, close-range mech that is constantly hitting the enemy very hard and then sinking its heat and then hitting the enemy hard. And as long as they don't shoot at it. There's that back shot. Remember in the refit that we reduced our rear armor, so that is the thing that scares us. That is the spooky thing. But we did get to sink our heat. That was good shooting again. I have a feeling we can kill this Shadowhawk this turn, because we don't have to jump that far. There we go. That's the jump that we want. This is gonna be nasty. We're not turning anything off. We're gonna watch the fireworks. Bwam. Yep. That's a lot of hate that mech can bring to bear. So far we're safely dealing with these turrets. We've got evasion stacked, and if they attack the back line, we're going to shoot them in the butt. That's exactly what happened. Oh, Decker got hit in the cockpit. Let's just reserve again. Spitfire for a second. You guys knew it was coming. How unstable? Hopefully we've got enough of these LRMs. It is funny that we didn't bring the Kantaro because of the Highlands, and it didn't make any difference whatsoever. Can you jump up here and... Oh, we don't have eyes on this thing anymore. We're gonna have you sprint instead. Sprint, please. Thank you. We just turned that laser off to give us more salvage opportunities. Let him get back up. Not the mech you want to be boxing with. I don't think. Don't know a lot about this game, but I'm pretty sure Thunderbolts are not the mechs to be pushing around. Okay, now if I remember right, we had some decent damage on this leg. Oh, well, pilot's gonna die. We'll just do it to it then. Okay. Go ahead and run up here. I probably should have jumped because we've got lots of heat and heat dissipation on this mech. Boom. No, that's plenty of damage, but it really stinks when you're doing the like 3D chess in your 4D chess in your head, trying to decide if you can get away with just shooting a couple things at those turrets, and then they survive with 2 health because a missile didn't hit them or something. Let's just start shooting this building. I guess the fact that the Kintaro, I'm still sure that the Kintaro being here would have made absolutely zero difference. But we've been jumping the Griffin around, so I can feel like it was a smart tactical decision, right? Mom. All right. Well, I'm surprised that we can do that. Like, our heat would allow for that. Okay, so we're gonna do a jump here. Here we go. That gets us line of sight on this last turret. The reason why you even care is that you can leave the turrets up, obviously, but if you destroy all the turrets, the game gives you extra money. Shoot the missile pod at it. And you're not the only one that can... This is the other cool thing about this game about breaking apart those missile launchers into LRM-5s is you can split your fire. It just gives you way more control over your who and how you damage. Was that a good explanation? Who you damage and how you damage them, maybe? Those better words? So usually we don't have to go to the LZ unless everything is dead. So, I mean, we're not in combat anymore, so I guess we'll leave. But if we don't get the turret bonus, I will be sour about it. Because sometimes there's like a turret over here in the corner that you can't tell is there. It should have been on scopes though, so overall pretty solid debut though. We definitely, I guess Decker got injured, but that was random. Definitely put the Thunderbolt through its paces and it performed well. I think on a hotter planet it might suffer, but we can also turn some of our mini guns off. Here we go. No, I don't want to. Oh, there he goes. That's funny. Haha. Okay. Nice clean mission. Don't really know. Destroy base turrets. There's the bonus we were looking for. Don't know what we're going to get for salvage from that. 2 pieces of the 2D. Definitely want a complete one eventually, but we're getting closer, so oh well. Okay. I guess I've got to pick something. Autocannon 5. Why not? He's not wrong about that. Okay. We're gonna go fight pirates. Where it's cold. Whoopsies. Actually negotiate though, like I'm planning on working for a living. It's weird that their reputation also changes. Based on the salvage choices I make. Like, is it better if I don't steal their stuff? Huh. Don't really care though. I've got no scruples about doing missions for pirates. As long as they're against the enemies of the Arano Restoration. You basically consider it like fighting with privateers. For those of you who might not know, a privateer is a more historical term for basically mercenaries, for military units that you pay and have them commit basically unethical acts like raids. Okay. This is going to be great for this mech. The crab, we don't need the crab here. We'll bring the Kintaro. And then Medusa. We could just stick Medusa in the other Shadowhawk. You'd probably be just as comfortable in the mech that he's accustomed to. The mech that he was designed to pilot. I think that's fine. Is there something with more gun that we could stick him in? Either the Griffin or the Wolverine. The Griffin, perhaps? Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm overthinking it. I'm sure he'll be just fine with this lance. The only thing we really don't have are our instability potential. So if we do find something we really want to salvage, it's going to be extra work to try and salvage it. But unlikely for this mission. More likely they just throw like 2 or 3 pristine lances at us, even 2 pristine lances, and it's a very tough mission, and we're just trying to kill everything as fast as we can. That sounds scary. Should have had some hopes and dreams in here. This loading screen is taking its time. Maybe as a mercy, I'll do a cut or an edit. But I might not. I mean, the whole reason why I'm doing this is so that we all can hang out together. Maybe I'll do streaming in the future and with a live chat. Not quite there yet, though. Alright, eyes on the bad guys. A decent sprint, much better than last time. We're going to have the Kintaro go along the rim. And we have 2 Shadowhawks. What a Chad. But as you have probably noticed at this point, Shadowhawks are monsters in this version of the game. Not quite so much in MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries. I mean, they're still a threat. It's still Shadowhawk, but these guys have big old 4-fingered claws, and they're not scared to use them. Boy, that Locust built no evasion. We're gonna do bad things to that poor little bug. These guys must be recruit level pilots, because they're bad. Okay, there's a medium mech. Must be a trebuchet? That was a lot of missiles. 50 tons. Yeah, probably a pretty good guess. More missiles. Well, let's wipe out the scouts and take away their LRM advantage. Just open with glitch. And I think Behemoth next. Can we make that happen? Wait, what mech have I got? Well, the answer is no, because that's way too far. Let me finagle this for a second. Boom. I think we can have Medusa perform the coup de grace. We sweet spotting? Not quite. Alright. SRMs. We're going to slap him right in the face for that. And these guys get to enjoy their scouts for one more turn. Yep, it's a trebuchet. Trebuchet firing lasers for some reason. Okay. Ooh, a miss. Big sad. Looks like we do definitely have 2 lances for now. Let's see what kind of jumps we got. I did consider a DFA, but since we are fighting pristine mechs and we're fighting a lot of them, we're not in a hurry to give away free damage for right now. We want to make them earn it. Oh, Behemoth has to wait, but that's okay. We've got plays. Hopefully we can keep these scouts under control so that they're just not raining rockets on us the entire time, our entire life. Okay, we've got all the guns for you. I think we're gonna go for the precision strike. Even if it survives, it should be a knockdown. No. Alright, they're gonna have to scout properly again. They ain't doing it though. Nope, not having that. Don't know what happened up there, but I don't want any part of it. Okay. Force the Trebuchet to scout then. Force them to waste all of their movement. $65 tons, is that? It wasn't that many missiles, so it must be a Thunderbolt or something. Let's reserve once more. Okay. This is going to be kind of unfun, mostly because of the positioning of this 65-tonner. What we could do is... their line of sight still isn't that great. Especially, these guys probably have to come around all the way. So maybe we can come around like this and still zone them out while causing problems for this 20-tonner. You are intruding on a joint pirate and pirate operation. Withdraw or you'll be destroyed. Okay. More pirates. I mean, we can do that. What kind of shot have we got? Broadside on another locust. Our chances aren't the worst. No, that was actually solid shooting. We don't want them to have an easy shot at us. Let's do Behemoth next, actually. This is kind of annoying me a little bit. I was worried about getting stuck up on this rock without a way to walk off of it. We're not in trouble yet, but we're going to walk off of this thing now so that it doesn't become an issue. We're going to do something silly here. There, their evasive is gone. Let's see how much heat this attack produces. Not too much. We got enough to keep pounding away. Hopefully we can get this kill in here. Alright, Medusa. Is that a torso hit, but not a leg hit? What are we looking at back here? Centurion. And this was a Thunderbolt. It's pristine though, so we're going to have to take that seriously. There we go. Trebuchet has line of sight on somebody. Kentaro. Centurion. Shooting at the Shadowhawk, blah blah blah. Nothing too exciting there. These guys still have all of their evasion, so we're gonna wait. That's a Vulcan, don't really care about them too much. Here's the Thunderbolt. We do care what the Thunderbolt thinks. This little bit of terrain is difficult to navigate for the Centurion, if I remember properly, which my memory is somewhat faulty at times. Okay. I think we're not really worried about the Thunderbolt's evasion unless, can we jump into the Goldilocks zone? We kind of can. Which means it's going to be time to coolant vent. And disco time. Pew 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 pew. Alright. We've got Glitch and Medusa still. Not in too much danger from these guys so far. There, they lost line of LOS on us. They might regain it, but that's something for them to figure out. Let's just reserve the commander. I'm not too worried if he gets shot at this turn. Trebuchet is still pressing. Pretty good shooting too, honestly. thought that was pretty decent. Is that a headshot? Or a miss? Hard to tell because of the camera. Okay. I'll just keep walking up here like this. Ooh, we got the knockdown from that. That's dirty. Here comes the Vulcan. Did I move her already? I might have. Or do I still have a reserve? Here we go. Can I do like a little courtesy hop? Yeah. Boop. Turn off the LRM5s just to make enough room for that flamer that's coming in next turn. Wham. I think just because we're getting pressed just enough, we're gonna not worry too much about our salvage, and we're gonna focus on yeah, Medusa's in a good position to get this kill. There we go. Boom. Big explosions. And then this Centurion. Hey, it's never too late, right? We do have a hurt leg. That stinks, because it's not worth the risk. Give you something to think about. Use the Trebuchet again. Still getting consistent hits on the same side of the mech, which is concerning. Now it's time to make our play with the Kintaro. Yeah, we were trying to avoid that, but it's alright. Actually, heat neutral with our medium lasers. That's pretty wild. Oh, it's because of the polar map. That's why. Okay, we're kind of splitting our attacks, which is not what we want to do. Go for this Goldilocks shot. Kind of not worth it, but that's alright. Still decent shooting, all things considered. Just keep pounding him in the butt. I'm really surprised they didn't take another. It would have made sense. Alright, Glitch. We're gonna take you down here and turn you around. There we go. Backing off. Kind of. Don't really have a spot to fit in there. So we'll just keep shooting. I mean, this is a lot of punishment. Decent example why the AL is a better pick, just because it is quite a bit beefier than its autocannon counterpart. And depending on the hard points, because the hard points are kind of crazy in this game, you may be able to squeeze more damage out of it as well. I'm going to jump like this. Okay, and we're going to tailor our attack. I think that's all we had to do. Or, there we go. That was a lot of damage. Still in the fight though. A lot of this is dice rolls, but this is still pretty crazy that this Centurion is just getting hammered by a entire lance of heavier mechs and is still fighting. Kind of. It's running now, which is not a thing it can do, I'm afraid. Oh, sorry. I think we're going to continue the tradition of zoning out their scouts. Alpha Strike. This is all because I parked the Kintaro on that rock. All of this damage would not have happened if I had had a little bit better foresight and positioning. I mean, she's doing it right. She just has to stand still, which sucks. There's an ammo explosion. lady is ready to bring the heat. Missing our shots because it's the commander and that's what the commander does. Yeah, trebuchets make big damage. There we go. Now, we're going to give Glitch an opportunity to climb this hill. But for the most part, we're going to be trying to wipe out the rest of her rockets. Probably shouldn't call them rockets, because rockets are a thing that actually exists in the BattleTech universe, despite the fact that it's not something that shows up in the games very often. Alright, let's give this guy a big ol' smoochie. That's real scary. That's not what you want to see. Pretty much everyone has evasion, so let's just wait and see what the trebuchet does. One of the better plays it had is what it did. I think it was shooting at the wrong side of Behemoth, though. We do have a direct shot. We've got the heat. We've got the missiles. Pew pew pew. Knocked a leg out. It's not really what I was expecting. There we go. and be a good sport and let him get up. Or at least that's what we're going to tell ourselves. Hooja. Not all that happy with the way this is going. Well, this is getting kind of tedious, isn't it? It's probably just time to call him dead. Alright, we did it. Sorry, that was such a trolly thing to do. But I'm pretty sure we're close to getting a trebuchet, and trebuchets are good. I think there's a weird thing about the trebuchet's hard points in this game. But we'll see. Okay. Looks like we only needed one salvage from the trebuchet. And we got the entire thing, which is okay. I'm going to take that Thunderbolt chunk. Satorian AL. Anything else? Trebuchet, trebuchet, trebuchet. So we got the entire trebuchet, which is fine. The next one we find, we'll salvage it too. We'll do our housekeeping, and that will pretty much wrap up this session. Okay, here's the trebuchet. See, the weird thing about the trebuchet is despite being a dedicated missile boat, like lots of non-missile boat mechs in this game have a ton of missile hard points, and this one only has 2, which is bizarre. Like, look, it's got 3 medium laser hard points. Interestingly enough, that actually lends the trebuchet much more to a see here it's like fire support, but you can make a really strong cavalry mech. Again, it mounts 4 medium lasers. How is that not amazing? There is no argument. It is amazing. Okay, and 5 jump jets, which is a lot of jump. A lot of hops to your pops. We will be putting on missiles. We're just not sure which. Probably LRMs. This sort of thing that we're doing here is lent much better to SRMs, though. Let's see first how we're doing with heat. It's already 5 tons, so let's look at weapons. Missiles. We'll throw on a couple SRM tubes. One ton of SRM ammo, which is plenty. And looks like 2 more heat sinks. Heat sink, oops, heat sink. So there she is. It's not a bad build. I wish I was getting more out of my missile slots, but it should be a missile boat. And look, we've got medium lasers for days. Anywho, don't really care. It says we've lost firepower, but that's not necessarily the case for the heat efficiency that we've gained. We're going to be able to squeeze more damage out. So we'll go ahead and build that mech. And I think perhaps the 6K is what we will lose. Where's our 1-punch Griffin? 4 medium lasers, 2 small lasers. We could also lose that. Alright, here's our priority mission. We'll start flying that way. That's not happening here. We just need to fly somewhere. It's going to be happening next time. Ooh, Phantom Pain. That sounds spooky. Something. We're not doing an exploratory surgery when we have X-rays. And I don't think, I mean, it's kind of a different world, but I honestly don't think I could actually order medtechs to perform exploratory surgery, or your medtech would be definitely within their rights to be like, yeah, I'm quitting. I'm not doing that. So second medical exam is what we're going to go for. A large cyst. Oh, wow. He saved his own life. I didn't know. No, you saved your own life. That's you did that, Medusa, not me. I only listen to my people. Okay, Decker has 7 days. We still got lots of time to travel. But we're waiting just for Decker to be better so we can do our MechWarrior stuff. Our promotions, we'll call them promotions. Okay, let's look at engineering. We don't need training modules yet, but their turn is coming. Probably Habitat Beta refit will get us our next medical bay. That's very expensive, but we need to fix our baby. Oh, whoops, the clock is still ticking. It doesn't stop when your guys get out of med bay, which is a shame. We gotta stop it. Stop. Okay. That's all done and working. Let's look at our scout mechs for a second. So we've got a medium laser AC2 SRM6. And here we've got... Well, the problem is it's not even really a competition because of the melee damage potential of the Shadowhawk. Like, looking at the actual damage doesn't make sense. So I know this is dumb because we did this nice refit on this 6R and we're not going to use it, but we're not going to use it. Okay. More gunnery for you, my dear. I'll just leave you like that until gunnery is maxed. Medusa is better, but not ready. So that's that. Nothing too flashy. So sorry I made you wait for all of that, but gunnery is what you need. There's no point if you can't hit your target in a game that's all about dice rolls. Go see Age of Wonders. Okay, so we're gonna save, and I will catch you guys next time for more RogueTech. Thanks for watching.